Stacking the Supreme Court is not as radical as you might think. It's been done in our past, and I think you'll find this fascinating. It could actually save our democracy. Check it out. Leave your comments, ding the bell, share it with your friends, and subscribe to our channel. Bill in Clifton, New Jersey. Hey, Bill, what's on your mind?
Yeah, hey. I've been wondering about the process for adding justice to the court. I assumed that you need a two-thirds majority in both houses at least. Or is it treated sort of like as house cleaning kind of a thing, you know?
There's no stipulation in the Constitution for anything other than the legislature Congress can regulate the court. It's Article 3, Section 2. You can read it. It's very short. It's very straightforward. Mm-hmm. And so Congress then makes their own rules, and those rules get recertified every 2 years when a new Congress comes in. And so things like the filibuster, which requires right now 60 votes, there was a time when it required 66 votes, or a two-thirds majority anyway. But that's up to the body itself. So if the Democrats come in and take the Senate, and if they blow up the filibuster, which there's a broad, I think, consensus among Democrats needs to be done, then they can pass anything with a simple majority, including expanding the Supreme Court. It simply requires that both the House and the Senate pass it with a majority vote and that it be signed by the president. That's all. It's just a simple piece of legislation changing the number of people on the court. It's been done, 5 or 6 or 7 times since the founding of the Republic.
It sounds too easy for such a difficult thing. Plus, they should put a rule in the Senate that you need a 60-vote majority for Supreme Court justices. That's my feeling.
Well, we had that right up until Mitch McConnell blew it up. There was a filibuster provision for Supreme Court justices, and in order to get Brett Kavanaugh in, Mitch McConnell had the Senate change its own rules. And so it's simple majority now for Supreme Court people. But but again, those are Senate rules. Those are not constitutional requirements. But it has happened multiple times. I mean, when Abe Lincoln was assassinated and Andrew Johnson became president, Lincoln was an anti-slavery Republican. Andrew Johnson was a pro-slavery, slave-owning Democrat. And Johnson and there was an opening on the Supreme Court. And the Republicans controlled the House and Senate at that time because they had just won the Civil War, and half the southern states, which were the Democratic bastion, literally did not have representation in Congress. And so Congress got together and said, we're going to reduce the size of the Supreme Court down to, as I recall, it was from 10 down to 7. I could be wrong on that. But they reduced it by 2 or 3. In order to prevent Andrew Johnson from appointing anybody to the Supreme Court. And then after Johnson left his term of office in, 1868, I think, and Ulysses S. Grant came in and became president, a good, safe Republican, then Congress met again and raised it back up to 9. I think it went from 10 to 7 to 9 during that period of time. There was a similar thing that happened in the election of 1800. Thomas Jefferson beat John Adams in November of 1800, but he didn't take office until March of 1801. And so during that 5-month period, John Adams passed a law reducing the number of members of the Supreme Court by 1 so that the incoming President Jefferson wouldn't be able to appoint anybody. Jefferson came in along with his Democratic Republicans, which is now what we call the Democratic Party, and passed another law that increased the size of the Supreme Court by 2. So it's not like it hasn't happened before. It's just the last time it happened was when Ulysses Grant did it right after Andrew Johnson left. But it's pretty straightforward process.